All right, folks. So, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while, but anyway, today's session, I'm going to work in Unreal Engine 5.5.3, so the most updated version at this time in 2025. We're going to make an island by using the Unreal Engine plugins with the water system, the PCG graph to populate the area, and we'll even add Nanite to give it that extra touch. Okay, so we'll get into it. So I'm going to do it in third person, and I'm going to keep in blueprints, target desktop, and quality preset maximum. I'm going to actually put that, well, you know something, you can just change it in the engine, so keep it as maximum. Starter content ticked, and we'll just call this island level, I don't know, yeah, island level. I'm click create, and I'll just pause the video while I'm waiting for the project to load up. Okay, so project loaded up pretty quickly. Happy days. So yeah, I'm just going to change the layout a little bit here. Okay. Um, I've got our content drawer here. Just going to click on it, document and layout, grab the content browser tab, just drag it down here so it fits in the bottom at all times. It's just the way I like to work. Also, if you're new to Unreal, it's probably a good way so you don't get overwhelmed trying to look for stuff. Everything in the project exists here. Okay. And then obviously, we've got our world in here. We've got our outliner, which basically is a list of all the items in our world. And then below it is the details section. So whatever asset or whatever's in our world, um, they all have individual details here on the right hand side. Okay. So first of all, what we really need to do is install the plugins. Okay. So if we go up here to edit in the top left, go to plugins. If I type in water, we're going to use the water experimental. Now, when you tick the box, it's going to say that it's an experimental version. It doesn't recommend shipping purchase. Don't worry about it. Just click yes. I'm not going to restart just yet. We also want to type in PCG, Procedural Content Generation Framework. Tick the box. Click yes again. And then also Nanite, N-I-N-I-T-E. We'll get another warning. Everything is in its beta version. Click yes, and let's do our restart. And I'll just pause the video as well. Okay, opened up super quick. Now, what I will say is you'll get this little warning in the message log. I'll just maximize the screen. Collision profile settings do not include an entry for the water body collision profile, which is required for water collision to function. Then there's a little option here just to click add entry to default engine.ini. Just click that and it'll gray out. And then you can close this window. Okay, so I got a little bit of a crash there. I'm having an issue with my drivers, but I fixed it, I think. Hope. But anyway, yeah, so if you click on that add entry to default ini and it grays out, then just close this window. And basically what that does is it allows for water body collision, which means that when you enter the water will be blue and you can actually walk through the water. Okay, so it makes sense in a moment, all right? But what we'll do now, just let me save all here. I'm afraid of getting a crash, but I will sort that out. Anyway, so what we want to do, file, new level, select basic, because we have our player start and our lighting set up. Click create, click on the mesh, delete it. So there's no floors, just our lights, etc. Player start here as well. And what we're going to do is just jumping over to landscape mode. And I'm just going to keep it as 100, 100, 100. I'm going to click create. And then what we'll do is just go back into selection mode here. And I want to call this my island. So it's my island. Click save. And now what I'll do, because I've added water's plugin, I can go to quickly add to the project. I can go to all classes. In the search bar, just type in water. There's all the options now. We want water body ocean. I'm going to drag and drop it in here somewhere around where the player start is because it's the center. And if we just look at this, we've created an island instantly, although it's huge, So I'm just going to click on little spine, the water splines, and I'm just going to pull this in a bit more. You get a bit smaller, and also let's get a better look at what we have here. Cool, and let's just make this more islandy. So, I'll take that. Okay. Let me just save it. Let's see me doing a lot of saves here. I just don't want any crashes. It frustrates me big time. But yeah, if I press play, see them over here. Go for a little run. Now, hopefully the collision is already set up. It is. Look at that. That is awesome. So that's why we add the default add to the default .ini. Okay, we add the entry for the water body collision, so it's blue at all times. Okay, so that's pretty neat. Okay, so there's our water setup. Okay, now what I'm going to do is this island. Do you know what? It's very flat, isn't it? I'm also going to just select my player start, find it quicker in the outliner, and I'm just going to bring it a little bit over here for now. All right. Yeah, I want to just get a little bit of displacement here because it's very, very flat. So I can just jump back into landscape mode. I got my sculpt tool and I'm just gonna we're not looking for massive work of art here for this tutorial. Okay, you can spend more time on it yourself. All right. But what we are looking for is a little bit of displacement. So let me just smooth this on. Okay. And that'll do. Just press play, have a look at that. That could make for a nice little rocky area, to be fair. I can run up over it. Got displacement. That'll do for me. Okay. You can spend more time on it yourself. It's really up to you. Okay. But anyway, we've got this in here. It is now time to get our PCG graph in order. So I'll go into selection mode. Okay. And I'll right click in the content browser. And because I've implemented the PCG plugin, it's now in the list. So PCG, make sure you select PCG graph. And I'm just going to call it PCG island. All right. Now, actually, I've just realized that we need to bring in some static meshes and that, so trees, rocks, grass, etc. So we'll do that now. We'll jump over into Fab. Okay. Just a second. Cool. So right click, you just go to Fab. And one of the really, really good assets, now it does take a while to load in, but I'll pause the project, is you're going to want European beach. It's got really, really good mega scans for the trees, etc. And it's free. Okay. See here, free. And the only thing is, it's not created for this most recent version. So if you just click on it and you go add to project, okay, let me just set this here because I did do a fab date. But yeah, so it'll say 5.1. So it says asset not compatible with version 5.4. Please select closest alternative version, right? So 5.3, add to project. And it should start working. Add to project. See, sometimes fab is a nuisance. It's not working. Okay, let me just close that. So go again. Fab. Just type in beach. So it's beach with two E's. Add project. There we go. Sometimes I don't know. I honestly I'm not a big lover of Fab, but it is relatively new. I preferred using Quixel and the other ways that the marketplace itself. Fab's a bit of a nuisance. But anyway, I'm just going to pause and let this load up into the project, and I'll be back with you after. Well, actually, I suppose what we could do as well is we could actually look for some rocks. before I pause. No point really. Kill some time. So we go FTX price free. Ain't nobody want to be paying. When we're learning anyway, that's for sure. We'll get some granite rock. I don't want high quality, medium's fine. I'll just add to the project and I will get another variation of rock. I'm not going to go too crazy with the rocks. I think there's beach rock. It fits, right? Add, and then I want to get some grass as well. Guys, free. There's some ribbon grass. Add to project. What else we got? We got loads like so. Realistic pack for games. Okay, get that. Doesn't really matter. Up to you. You spend a lot of time with what the assets that you want for your environment. Okay. I'm just gonna show you how the PCG graph works, obviously. So yeah, add the project. I'll leave it at that. As you can see, European Beach, it's quite hefty. I am going to pause the video and wait for this to load up fully. Okay. I got plenty of grass and stuff now, so I'll be with you in just a moment. Cool. So it's all into the project now. All right. So now I can go back and to the PCG Island, double click, I'll open that up. In this window, it's kind of like an event graph. Basically, we can set up different static meshes to spawn in at certain points. All right. So what we'll do, we'll right click and we'll type in get landscape data like so. And we'll come off the out pin with a surface sampler. Okay. But just to show you in real time what a surface sampler is, let me just minimize this a little bit. I'll drop my PCG in here. Now you can't see anything just now, but if I click on surface sampler and press D to debug, you can see we got all these little like boxes. Yeah, just imagine they're placeholders for where our static meshes are going to be, pretty much. Okay, but they're all very similar apart from the height. Okay, and it's just not going to look so good. All right, so what we want to do, we'll turn off the surface sampler. We'll go back in here, and from the out pin, we will get transform points. Okay, and we want to change the values here for transform points. All right, so we got offset min, okay, which is going to be -10, -10, -10. Okay, and then the offset max is going to be 10, 10. But we keep the z-axis -10. That way, no static mesh will be floating above the landscape itself. And then the rotation min, I want on the z-axis -360 to the rotation max z-axis to be 360. I'll save that. And if I just minimize this as well, and if I press D to debug, you can see now that they're all rotated and they're all different. So it's a lot more random for us. So when I do bring in static meshes, they're going to be scattered everywhere. Okay. All right. Now, just for the moment, what I'm going to do, I'll just do a little quick save all here. I am going to make this graph a little bit more realistic. Okay. I might actually fix this little slope later on, but we'll see. So on the scale, I'll click the padlock so we can scale it simultaneously in all axes. Let's do 60. Wow, okay, so this is pretty good. Might even go, oh, and then give it a little bit of rotation. Sure. W, move this over here. just for now. We'll see. You know what? It's a bit too big. 55. So nothing's going in the water. And that'll do. Okay, I'm really happy with that. All right. So we'll go back into the graph here. Okay. And what we're going to do, we're going to add in a static mesh spawner. Okay. Now in here is where I'm going to actually try to debug off for the transform point as well. I don't need it anymore. Okay. It's just to demonstrate why we do, why we're doing this and the difference that it makes. But with the static mesh spawner, over here in the details section where it says mesh selector, down below is mesh entries. I'm going to add in just 4 array elements for now. Okay, you can add in as many as you want. All right, and then from the index, go to descriptor, and you'll see you got static mesh and it's empty. So press Control Spacebar. I'll go to the European beach. I'll go into geometry and I'll select pivot painter and I'll drag and drop the tree in here. It might take a little while to load up. It might be fine. It just depends on what way my device wants to work. And also what you'll need to do, you'll need to change the collision preset as well, or else you'll be able to run through the tree. So I want to block all. Okay. And then we will go to the next index. Index, descriptor, and control space bar. I'm just going to add in the next tree and I am going to change the collision. And just repeat the process with different trees. Okay? So if you bear with me, the index, descriptor, another tree. These are like the tallest trees in the pack, I believe, so that's good. Then I can do another line below in the graph of like smaller, like maybe some shrubs along the end here. But we'll come to that short. Just make sure you got the collisions sorted out. Scriptor, static mesh. Oh, no, I didn't just save that. Let's do a little file, save all. And look at that. We got a lot of trees. Far too many. Okay. Far, far too many. But luckily, when we go back into the PCG graph, I'll add what's called a density filter in here. Okay. So I'm just going to break this little pin for the moment. Okay. And put the density filter. Join this up. And the density filter means that I can filter out like whatever trees are on like the lower mesh and the upper mesh. Okay, so I'm just going to minimize this just to show you in real time. Let's see now it's starting to change. And I might just go for something like that. It's scarce. And let's test it out in real life. So this project, I'm going to go new editor window. And something, I'm pretty far away. It might be able to do, but let's check collision's good. Got some nice trees floating around. And you notice how it's just placed all the trees around for us. Okay, which is really, really cool. Okay, populated the area for us pretty quickly. I might have a little play around with this a little bit more. There's a lot of trees now. Cool. Where's my player start? I want to bring it in here. If I press 29, see a bit better. Yeah, I got more trees. I think that's much nicer. But obviously, it's trial and error. Everyone's landscape's going to be different. Play around with it. But we got some nice trees in here. Okay. Now the thing is, the trees are all the same color. I mean, of the actual static mesh. Okay. So let's save all again. Let's open this up. What you can do is you can go transform points. And you can do a minimum scale and a maximum scale. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll do it from zero point 0.5 to 1.5. Oh, just to see how it works. Click save. Now I got to choose all different heights. Press play. It's pretty decent. So we got some small trees in here. So it just gives it a little bit more of a random feel with the scales. A bit more realistic too. Okay. So that's the first line of the graph done actually. All right. What we want to do now is we want to duplicate the first three nodes. So Control D, I'll pull these down. I'll plug the out pin into the surface. And what I want to do is on the surface sampler, it has a seed. The seed is the exact same because it's been duplicated. And that is actually like where the static mesh will spawn. So I just want to randomize that so they don't spawn in the same place. I just randomized it to some random number. And I didn't create a new static mesh spawner because I don't want to bring in the same amount of trees and then it's expensive on Unreal and maybe my GPU crashes. So better I just pull this out now, get a static mesh spawner like so. I'm going to add in another 4 array elements. Okay, so but 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, but I'm going to add smaller, like little shrubs than that. So descriptor, same process, guys. All right. So control space bar. I got these last little small ones here. Yeah. So I'll bring that in. I'm not going to put collision on them because they're little twigs, and I want to be able to go through them. Don't want them to block me at the leaves or anything. Okay. So it just makes it a little bit more realistic. But yeah, I'll just add these in now. Okay. So bear with me. Oh, yeah. Oh, that one is going to take a wee second to load. Oh, not too bad at all. Save that file. Save that. We can hit Control Shift S. I'm just being lazy with one hand. But let's have a little look now. If I go in here, see it spawn little trees, little shrubs around randomly as well, which is a nice little touch. Okay. Obviously, you can play around with as many static meshes as you want, different sizes, but just for the video's purpose. Don't want to keep it too long. You get the concept now. Um, but let's play around with density for let's keep put a lot of these in. Yeah, I want those then. Like sand's not been taken care of. Maybe a little bit less. Just a tiny bit. Let's see. Do something. Let's just keep it in those. Let's have a little mosey around. Yeah, we've got plenty in here. It's pretty cool. And obviously, when we put the material in and some rocks as well, and get some grass in there too. Okay, so it's looking well. We're doing very good. Okay, so yeah, same applies. Just Control D to duplicate the first three nodes. Plug the out pin into the surface. Change the seed. And what we're going to do, we'll add some rocks in here. Okay, so static mesh spawner. I only have 2 rocks, so I'm just going to add 2 array elements. Static mesh. Yeah, so let's find them. They will be in Fab, Megascans, 3D, Beach Rock, Medium. There we go, there's one. And where's my descriptor? Oh, index 1 descriptor. Cool. Let me just go back into 3D. Got our granite rocks. Sweet. Well, let's see what that looks like. Uh, Quite a lot in. Up to you, really, what you want to do. I just see the way it's different sizes because we have random uniform. So what I want to do with that is if I click on transform points and I change this scale up to 3 because I want some big rocks in here. Only problem is those little small ones in the collision is going to be the same. So what you would ideally do is create a new graph with the individual rock and put collision on it. But you know, that is really nice. So it is. I like that. So I press play. The thing is I can run through the rocks. So it's not great. Okay. So to fix that, let's put this back down to 1.5. You know what? Let's put it down to 1. Just have some small rocks. Okay. So that way, if they're small, I can step over them. Okay. There's no collision to block me. All right. And then if I go back into the graph and I just duplicate the whole thing, I'll just reroute here and plug this in. You don't have to. You can plug it in from um, the landscape data, but this still works. It's just a reroute by double clicking. Okay. Let's do surface sampler, randomize the seed, transform points. I want to do it from 1.5 to 3, and I want to turn collision on for the big rocks. Okay. So to do that, static mesh spawner, go to your mesh entries, your descriptor, and just scroll down. And block all dynamic basically means anything that moves, it'll be blocked. So we can't go through. Um, index one. Do the same thing. And if I save that, now I got a lot of. I don't want too many big rocks though like that. So I am going to use the density filter here in real time. Let's scatter a few big ones around. And if I press play, I won't be able to walk through these ones, not unless the collision's bad on the static mesh, but I'll show you how to fix that if there's an issue. Okay, so that's blocked me. That's, yeah, because of the way that is, the height, I can walk over it. That's very good. Well, let's go see this one. Okay. Okay, that's pretty cool. All right, so we got our rocks, okay? Now what we want to do, so we'll do a little save all here. Always be saving, yeah? We're gonna put in some grass. Okay, so let's do another reroute node. Into here. So you can see. Oh, let's change the seed. Add a static mesh spawner. Terrible at spelling. And I am going to just, I've only got, I can't remember how many grasses I have. Let's put in 4. Or, you know what, let's just put in 3. It's up to you what you want to do. You get the gist by now. 3 mega scans, plants. Yeah, there's quite a lot here, you know. So I'm going to take this tall one. Obviously, we don't want any collision for the grass. I want to be able to walk through it, you know. Uh, image one, scriptor, metal, this one on. So there's quite a lot of different grasses there, okay, but just for this, I'm going to keep it as is. Probably going to want to use a density filter here. Um, No, let's just find the Where is it? Not seeing any grass. Okay. So, oh, there we go. It's starting to come in now. But what ideally what you would probably want to do after is paint in some foliage and do touch-ups, etc. Okay, but right now we got a really good base here. Okay, with static meshes and that. All right. I'm going to leave the PCG graph up to you now. You can add in as many different meshes as you want, decorate it yourself. But what I do want to do is get a material on this bad boy, get some sand in here, and then add the nanite, and that will do. All right. So we're going to right click, going to go fab, and we're going to type in, I think there's a nice one called Thailand Sands. Obviously, we want it to be free. Now, some of these materials are a bit iffy with nanite, is what I've noticed. So, got this one saved in the library. Can't remember which one's decent. So, I'll just add this one in for now. Yeah, we'll add this one in, add the project, and we'll create a material. Okay, I'll just create the material in here because why not? Let me just save this. Right click, material, M underscore island. Why not? Double click and open this up. Okay. So obviously, we have our material node here. All right. It's got displacement. We need to add nanite as well. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Let's actually do that now. And to do that, we have to add it manually. Okay. So if you just right click on this texture, for example, go to, where's the show and explore? Show and explore. Show and explore. It'll open up your file explorer. Okay. I'm going to maximize this. And if you just click on the actual project name and then level, go to the config folder and open up the default engine. All right. It'll come up in your notes here. Okay. And we need to manually add some code. Okay. Now I'll have the code in the link in the description for you, but it's just simply where the render settings are. Just going to make some space and just paste it in here like so. And then just go File, Save, all right? And then we will need to do a restart with Unreal Engine as well, okay? So let's do that, all right? So File, I'll just want to do a little save all, yeah. I'll restart the project. And as that's restarting, I'm just going to pause the video. Okay, so we're back in here, restarted the project. Okay, just to make sure that everything's updated. We'll open up the island material that we created. Okay, I got these three textures here. All right, I'm just going to quickly drag in the base color, drag in the normal, and drag in the ORM. Okay, and let me just open this up. We'll do some work in here. Okay, so I'm going to plug our RGB base color into base color of the material node. We'll plug our normal into the normal section, and we want to plug displacement into the ORM. So to enable that, now that we've set up Nanite, if you click on the material node, okay, which is the big one here, over in the search bar in the details section, type in Nanite, tick enable tessellation, and displacement will appear, but also tick use with Nanite. Plug the RGB into displacement, okay, make sure it's applied. So I always hit the save button and then the apply grays out. Okay. And then what we want to do is open up our map again, of course. So just bear with me. If in selection mode, just click on the landscape and then over in the details section, scroll down, it says landscape material. Okay. And just hit the none M underscore island. Okay, that's not finished yet, all right? Oh, my apologies. You can see here it's very tile. Doesn't look nice at all. Okay. So if I just open up my material, I'm going to get a landscape layer cohort. And what this does is I can plug them into the UVs and it will allow me to change the size of the material. I can stretch it, etc. Okay. Going to change the map and scale to 15. Trial and error. I didn't test this out beforehand, but I have taught this lesson a few times. That is really nice. Okay, so let's press play. See what it looks like. I mean, I'm okay with that. I'm a bit worried about this material being the wrong one, but sure. Okay. So we got sand. Let's apply that. Okay, so to do that, we got the material set up. If you go with your landscape selected in the outliner, in the search bar, type in Nanite and click Enable Nanite, and then click Build Data and hope that it doesn't crash. Cool, that's fine. The Nanite works, okay? It's all spiky, it's all out of control, but that's the magnitude, okay? We're going to change that now in the material. So if you just open up the material, okay? Click on the material node and type in nanite in the search bar again. And if you just open up displacement, you got magnitude, okay? Now I'm going to show you in real time. So I'm just hovering over magnitude here. Let's get a better look here, okay? I'm going to change it to 0.2, see what that looks like. Just apply it. And that's much nicer. Might even go for a 0.1 here. Search, press play, and that is really, really nice. Look at what that's done. Just that effect of more grainy looking. This material isn't the nicest material, yeah. So actually what I'll do is I'll just jump back into Fab again. Let's get the other Thailand um, material quickly. Mm, free, yes, free. We like free. Look at this one. Let's try that. Add to project. If you want to save all every time. So that didn't want to move. Oh, there we go. It's just a little bit of a lag. It's all good. I'm just going to replace these. So I'm just going to grab these three, delete them, and we'll bring our base color in, our normals, and our ORM. And let's do a little bit of work. So RGB into base color, normal into normal, ORM into displacement. Plug the coords into the UVs and apply. And let's minimize this. Save all. And that material I think is much nicer. Yeah, it's very nice. Look at the grain on that. I might up the nanite. Maybe we want to rebuild the data. That's very nice. One moment. Oh, no, wrong material. Sorry, guys. Where's my material? So we close this. We don't need it. Don't need that either. This. Okay, so I closed the material by accident. That's okay, easy fix. So I just go content, just type in m_island. There's our material. Double click, open it up. And I want to change the magnitude a bit. So, nanite. Change this to 0.3. Let's save it. Has that made a big difference? Yeah, I quite like it. Let me just make sure this material is working here. I'm not sure. Let's go 4. Click save. Yeah, so the dynamic definitely works. Let's go change it to point 0.4. It's really trial and error, but there's little subtleties there, just real brain. If I press play, you'll probably see it better, to be fair. Yeah, now look at the issue here. I am sinking into the sand. This is something that I don't want. Okay, so we've put the magnitude of point 0.4, but there's also a value called center. Okay, and that determines where the player can move around. And so I'm actually going to change this to point 0.3 just because this field might look better. But the center I'm going to change to 1, and I'm going to press save. I'll press play, and now I'm on top of the sand. Got that little extra bit of detail for the grain. And yeah, I got an island. Okay. And obviously, it's all up to static meshes, etc., what you want to use and the environment you want to build. But we've covered 3 different things there: nanites, PCG, and the water system to create an island in, I don't know, obviously because I'm explaining things, but you could do that all in about 20, 25 minutes, okay? Populate an environment really quickly. But yeah, hopefully you liked the video. Please do like and subscribe. It really helps me because there's a lot of time doing these. All right, I won't lie. Hats off to every YouTuber that's really dedicated. I have a full-time job and I'm in full-time education as well, so it's hard. But yeah, like and subscribe and follow for more. Thank you very much. Good luck on your game dev journey.